Okay, so hello and welcome to the continuation and hopefully the last video for hydrocarbons. So today we're going to discuss alkenes and alkynes, their properties, their names, and their chemical reactivities. No. However, before we proceed with the alkenes and the alkynes, I would like to share you something. No. So ito, teka lang. Ayan. So, I bought this toy. Bumili ako nito sa Shopee. So, kung gusto niyo bumili, bili din kayo, no? Okay, so this is a molecular model kit, no? And this molecule represented here is what, no? So, ilang carbons meron dyan? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat. So, that means this is butane, no? So, kasi mapapansin mo, puro single bonds yung nandyan. So, what do we know about alkanes in general? So, in general, alkanes are sp3 hybridized carbon atoms, di ba? Gawa siya sa mga sp3 hybridized carbon atoms, okay? So, your lecture professor must have discussed that, no? Okay, so ano meron kapag sp3 hybridized yung iyong carbon atom, no? So, nangyayari is that the bonds or the angle of the bonds are separated at an angle of 109.5, no? And that makes up for a tetrahedral shape, no? So, if hindi nyo ma-visualize, putulin ko to. Okay, so this is a tetrahedral shape, no? Teka, lagyan ko lang ng hydrogen sa taas. Yung iba maigsi lang yung bond, no? So ito, may tatlong H ka sa baba, isang H sa taas, and they form four triangles, four faces, so we call it tetrahedron, no? Apat na faces, tetrahedron. Okay? So yan. So yun yung alam natin about alkanes, no? So primarily they are composed of carbon atoms which are sp3 hybridized, no? And that makes for a tetrahedron shape, no? If we join carbon atoms, no, in an alkane, makagawa tayo ng zigzag-zigzag, no? Okay? In which your sp3 hybridization is preserved, no? Or the bond angles are preserved, no? So ito ay sp3 hybridized. So this is 109.5 degrees ang separation nila. Same as this one. Same as this one. Ayan lang. And same as this one. So lahat yung mga naka 109.5 degrees ang kanyang separation. Okay? Kaya naka zigzag-zigzag yung alkanes natin. Okay? So what else do we know about alkanes? We know na since single bond lang yan, it can rotate to form different conformations. No? So for example, we have this butane. Ito yung example din natin last time. So what we know about the single bonds is that they can rotate. So ibig sabihin, I can rotate my molecule to form this conformation. That is still butane, no? Okay, butane pa rin yan. Magkakaiba lang siya ng angle of rotation along a single bond. This carbon 2 and carbon 3, no? Nag-iiba lang yung kanyang angle of rotation. And what do we know about that, no? This is the most stable version of our butane. Bakit, no? Because of the less hindered site, no? Meaning hindi siya cluttered, hindi siya crowded, no? Kasi compared natin yan dyan, this is still butane. However, ano mapapansin natin, we have two CH3 groups facing one another. Parehas silang magkatapatan, no? So, ay, okay. So, parehas silang magkatapatan. So, ano mangyayari? Crowding. We know that the electron group of this CH3 will affect the electron group of the other CH3. So, may repulsion siyan. So, this is unstable. However, if our butane, carbon 2, carbon 3 bond rotates again to form this, stable yan. Kasi magkalayo yung kanyang bulky groups, no? Okay, so kaya ganyan yung stable version ng ating butane, naka-zigzag. Okay? Kasi pwede mo ikutin yan, no, to form this one. However, yun nga, steric hindrance, no? Steric hindrance, ibig sabihin nun, bulky yung mga groups, no? So, ayaw natin yan kasi magre-repel yung mga electrons nila. That's according to the Vesper theory pa rin, no? What else do we know about alkanes? No, meron din tayong isomers about alkanes, 'di ba? So for example, the formula of this molecule is C4H10 for butane. Then, ano pwede natin gawin? I can move this CH3 group, ilagay ko siya dito sa gitna. Okay? Pagpalitin ko lang sila ng hydrogen dito. Naka-enjoy to, kaya kung gusto nyo bumili kayo. Okay? Okay. So, ayan yung ginawa ko. Okay? So, nabansin nyo, kanina, andito yung CH3. Andito siya sa part na to. However, ngayon, nilagay ko siya sa second carbon. So, this is no longer butane. No? So, I call this 2-methyl propane. No? So, nasa second carbon ang ating methyl, yung CH3. The second carbon, and the longest chain is this 3-carbon group, the propane. No? So this is 2-methyl propane. So ano tawag natin when we have the same formula but they have different connectivities, hence different name? We call them isomers. No? So ganun yung nagagawa natin. No? So by connecting different carbon groups to different atoms, we may produce isomers. No? Such as this one. We call this constitutional isomers, by the way. Ha? Okay, yung picture dito, pancit canton yan. Gutom ako kanina. Okay, so yun lang. Later on, mas magagamit natin to, no, to visualize our um, lessons. No? But anyway, so yun lang alam natin sa alkanes. Yung reaction, binigay ko na rin yung last time. No? So view nyo na lang ulit. Okay? So ngayon, let's proceed now with alkenes. No? So what are alkenes and alkynes? No? So alkenes and alkynes are another versions of hydrocarbons na puro carbon and hydrogen atoms lang din yung pwedeng involved. No? However, instead of having single bonds, teka lang, share ko uli yung aking camera. Okay, so teka lang ha, may technical difficulty tayo. Okay, so ano meron sa ating alkenes, sa ating alkynes, no? So meron tayo dito is that yung ating alkanes, di ba, mapapansin nyo, puro carbon-hydrogen bond dyan, puro single bond, no? Okay? Pagdating naman natin sa alkenes and alkynes, ano sila, no? So kapag alkene naman, we have double bonds, no? So ito yung double bond natin, no? One of that is a sigma bond, the other is the pi bond, no? This is the unused p orbital upon hybridization. So that means the carbon here is sp2 hybridized. The carbon there is also sp2 hybridized, no? Okay, so this is alkene. May dalawang bonds in between two carbons. So they are may double bonds dyan, no? So one of which is the p or the pi bond, no? Okay, so yan, ito yung alkene natin. Yan siya. And yung ating alkyne ay ito naman. Okay? So ito yung ating alkyne. Mapapansin natin sa alkyne, ilang bonds meron between this carbon and that carbon? Isa, nasa likod, dalawa, and tatlo. Okay? So we have 3 bonds for alkynes, no? In between two carbons. Okay? So ano ulit difference ng alkane, alkene, alkyne? So urong lang natin. Pakita natin yung difference nila. Pag alkanes, puro single bonds lang. Pag alkenes, meron tayong double bonds, no? Sa double bond na yon, isa ay pi bond. Okay? Yun ay galing sa sp2 hybridized carbons. Okay? So, alam ko na lecture na yan ng lecture prof nyo. Pag hindi pa, you can watch my YouTube video about that. No? Okay? And this one is the alkynes. No? So, ang alkyne, we have triple bond between two carbon atoms, two of which, dalawang bond doon sa triple bond na yun ay pi bond. No? Okay? So, yun lang. So, yan. Yun yung ating alkane, alkene, and alkyne. Okay? So, maybe we can proceed now with our discussion proper. So let's proceed with alkynes, no? So what do we know about alkenes and alkynes, no? So yun nga, alkene is a hydrocarbon which contains more than one carbon double bond, no? So basta may double bond sa dalawang carbon, you have your alkene. If you have a triple bond between carbons, you have alkyne, okay? So the simplest version of alkyne would be acetylene. Dalawang carbons, may tig-isang hydrogen, just like yung pinakita ko kaninang model. And the simplest version of alkene is the ethylene, no? Okay, so ito yon, ethylene, dalawang carbon, may double bond in between, then may apat na hydrogen. Okay, so ano yung alam natin about them, about their structure? Okay, so what we know about alkenes is that the reason why there is a double bond is dahil sa pi bond, no? So, upon the formation of pi bond, nagkakaroon tayo ng double bond between two carbon atoms. And that makes its angle, no? According to the Vesper theory, ang magiging angle ng kanyang bonds ay 120 degrees, no? For every carbon na may sp2 hybridization, no? Okay? So, one example would be this one. Okay? So, ito yung ating ethylene. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo, ito yung double bond. Ito yung isang bonding group niya. Ito yung isang bonding group. No? So, mapapansin mo, they are separated in 3 different positions. And their angle is 120 degrees each. No? Okay? So, yun lang yung important na kailangan natin malaman. Because of the sp2 hybridization of alkenes, the angles between the bonds is 120 degrees, no? So yun yung angle nila. However, for alkynes, no? Ano meron sa alkynes? Kapag alkynes naman, ang ating carbon-carbon dyan ay parehas sp hybridized, no? So that means may dalawang p orbitals, may dalawang p electrons na hindi ginamit upon hybridization. Kaya naging sp hybridized yan. And whenever your carbon is sp hybridized, it can form a triple bond, no? And its angle would be 180 degrees apart, no? So for example, yung pinakita ko ng yung alkene sa inyo. Pakita ko ulit yung picture, ha? Okay. So ito yung ating alkyne. So this carbon is sp hybridized. This one is also sp hybridized. Two of the bonds are unused, no? So itong dalawang bonds na to hindi to ginamit upon hybridization. That's why they were able to form the pi bond, no? So dalawang pi bond, yung isa doon ay sigma bond, no? So recall your lecture na lang, no? Pag nakakalimutan. Okay, so ganun, ha? And look at the angle. This group and that group are separated at an angle of 180 degrees, no? So they are at each end talaga, no? Isa sa left end, isa sa right end, no? Okay? So however, kapag iyan ay alkene, teka lang. So kapag iyan ay alkene, ano mangyayari diyan? Kapag yan ay alkene naman, okay, so this is alkene natin. So ito yung ating carbons. Kapag alkene, ano yung kanyang hybridization? sp2, no? So sp2 kapag alkene, then look, ano yung angle of separation of the groups, no? The bonding groups. This and this are separated at an angle of 120 degrees. This and that group is also separated by 120 degrees. Ito and yun ay separated din at 120 degrees angle. So that means this molecule is trigonal planar in geometry, no? Flat yan na triangle. Ayan. So ayan, mapapansin mo, flat yan, then pa-triangle yan. Triangle to, tapos may triangle din dito. Okay? Pero pag alkanes, iba yung usapan, ha? Kapag alkanes, ano meron? sp3 hybridized yung carbon. Tapos, naka 109.5 degrees ang separation ng ating bonding groups. Pag alkenes, meron kapag alkenes, sp2 hybridized ang carbon and the angle of separation between the bonding pairs, the bonding sites, ay 120 degrees, that is trigonal planar. And kapag alkynes, ano meron? We have triple bonds. The carbon is sp hybridized and they are separated. The bonding groups are separated at an angle of 180 degrees. Okay? So, yun lang yung kailangan natin malaman sa ngayon. Okay? So, let's go back sa ating PowerPoint. So, yun yung ating structure for ating alkenes and alkynes. No? So, depending on the hybridization of your carbon, you can have different bond angles. No? Pag alkane yan ay sp3 hybridized. The angle of separation is 109.5 degrees. If yan ay alkene, ano meron kapag alkene yan? Yan ay nakaseparate at an angle of 120 degrees. No? And the carbon are sp2 hybridized. No? Then kapag yan ay alkyne, ang carbons ay sp hybridized. So that means the bonds are separated at an angle of 180 degrees apart. No? Okay, so yun lang yung structure ng ating alkenes. What's also noticeable with alkenes naman, sa alkynes walang ganito, sa alkenes meron ding isomerism sa alkenes, no? Pero hindi siya kasing wide ng constitutional isomers sa alkanes, no? So ano yung isomerism for alkenes? Yun ay tinatawag nating cis and trans isomerism. Okay? If you look at the double bond, no? So just looking at the double bond, yung substituents, they can be located on the same side or on the opposite side, no? Well, let me visualize that with my model ulit. Gamit na gamit yung model ngayon. Yes. Okay. So let me visualize that again, ha? Yung cis and trans isomerism. Okay. So, ito yung ating alkene. So, this is butene. Okay. So, this is 2-butene. Okay. On the second carbon, you have your double bond. O, mamaya puntahan natin yung naming. So, this is one example of an alkene. Okay. So, this is a trans isomer, trans-alkene. Bakit siya naging trans? Ang ganito yung gagawin natin, no? Ang ating reference point would be the location of the double bond. Okay? So look at the double bond, then tignan mo nasan yung iyong carbon groups. Okay? So for example, this carbon group is located upwards. Nasa taas siya ng double bond. This carbon group is located downwards. So nasa baba siya ng ating double bond. So, kapag magka-opposite side ang iyong carbon groups, no? Yun ay trans-alkene. So, siya ay trans-alkene. Paano naman kapag sila ay nasa same side, no? Wait lang, ha? Ayan. Okay, if your carbon groups are both on the same side, kunwari, ito carbon group yan, ito carbon group to, parehas silang side ng double bond. So, this is your double bond. They are both on the same side. So, we call that the cis isomer, the cis alkene. Okay? So, ano yung difference ng cis and trans? No? Ang difference ng cis and trans is that ang trans, they are on the opposite sides. No? Nasa taas yung iyong carbon group. Andito yung carbon group mo. Andyan. Okay? Pero kapag yan ay cis, parehas silang nasa baba. No? O baka may magtanong sa inyo, Sir, paano to? Kunwari, ito po. Okay. Sir, paano po ito kunwari? So this is your carbon group. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Pero yan, teka lang. I'm trying my best. Okay. So ito yung ating double bond. You have a CH3 here. On the top, CH3 here. And on the bottom, you have your CH2, CH3. Ngayon, ano yan? Cis ba yan or trans yan? Okay, so kapag ganito yung case, ang gagawin natin is hahatiin natin ang double bond. No? Huwag mo putulin, sayang eh. So ang gagawin natin, lalagyan natin yan ng border. Okay, so try natin hatiin ang view ng ating double bond. Okay, so look on the left side. Itong left side, ito. Okay, so tignan natin yung left side. Ito ay CH3, ito ay hydrogen. Bibigyan natin ng priorities yan, no? Sana all pina-prioritize. Paano tayo magbibigay ng priority? Okay, una, kapag mabigat yung atom, siya yung first priority. Pangalawa, kapag maraming atoms dun sa group na yon, siya yung priority. Okay, so let's look. Dito sa left side, sino yung magiging priority? CH3, para makita nyo isang hydrogen nasa likod eh. Okay, so sino yung priority dito? Itong CH3 or itong hydrogen? So that should be the CH3. Maraming atoms to at mas mabigat to, diba? So this will be my priority 1. O, tingin naman tayo dito sa right side. Dito na lang. Okay, on the right side of the double bond, you have your CH3 yan, and you have your CH2, CH3. CH2, CH3. Sino yung ipaprioritize natin dyan? Ito yung mas maraming atom. No? So this will not be the priority, rather this one. Okay? So ngayon, balik ulit tayo sa ating big picture ng molecule. So this is our priority on the left side. And this is our priority on the right side. Now we will decide kung yan ay cis or trans. Yan ay trans, no? Kasi your priorities are on the opposite sides of the double bond, no? Ito yung point of view natin. Yung isa nasa taas, yung isa nasa baba. So this will be a trans isomer. So ito ay trans na alkene. Ito yung isang priority nasa taas, yung ikalawang priority nasa baba. Okay? So yan ay trans. Ngayon, ano itsura niyan kapag cis yan? Kapag cis yan, itong CH2, CH3 group will be located on the top side. Okay? So, pagpalitin natin yan. Okay? So, ngayon, dito sa model natin na to, this is your CH3. Okay? So, this is your CH3. Ito yung CH3 mo na isa, nasa baba. Ito yung priority mo. Itong CH2, CH3, nasa taas siya. So, ano meaning nun? So, ang iyong priority sa left, nasa taas. Ang priority mo sa right, nasa taas ng double bond. Okay? Ito yung point of view parate, yung double bond. So, that means na ito ay cis isomer. Okay? So, ito ay cis, parehas nasa taas ang iyong priority. Okay? So, yun lang yung idea ng cis and trans isomerism for alkene. Okay? So, balik tayo sa ating PowerPoint. Okay? So, yan ha. Kapag alkanes, we have the constitutional isomers wherein yung ating mga atoms, no? Iba-iba yung kinakabitan nila. However, for our alkanes, no? For ating alkenes, meron tayong tinatawag na cis and trans isomerisms, no? Okay? So, ano yung pinagkaiba ng cis and trans isomerism sa alkene? Yung position ng iyong priority group, no? So, if ang iyong priority groups ay parehas na sa taas or parehas na sa baba ng double bond, then you have a cis alkene. Pero kapag sila ay nasa opposite side ng iyong double bond, yung isa nasa taas, yung isa nasa baba, then you have a trans alkene. Okay? Sa alkynes, walang ganon. Okay? So ngayon, paano natin papangalanan ang ating alkenes, no? Paano na rin natin papangalanan yung alkynes na rin, no? So the rules for naming alkenes and alkynes are similar with alkanes, no? So, basta alam nyo yung pagpangalan ng alkane, kayang-kaya nyo pangalanan yung alkenes and alkynes. Madali lang. Okay? So, for us to name your alkene, number 1, the parent name is that of the longest chain that contains the C double bond C. Di ba sa ating alkanes, ang ating ginagawa, pag hahanapin mo yung parent chain ay bibilangin mo or hahanapin mo yung longest chain of carbon. Sa alkenes, ganun pa rin. Or alkynes, ganun pa rin. No? However, the only difference is that it must contain the C double bond C. Okay? So, kailangan kasama to sa pagbibilang. So, hindi siya necessarily yung pinakamahaba. Dapat siya yung mahaba containing the C double bond C. Kasi kapag hindi kasama yon, mali yan. Okay? So, kailangan isama mo yung C double bond C sa possible long chain na kaya mo gawin. Okay? Then, what else? No? So, the number of chain from the end gives the lower number to the carbons of C double bond C. Kailangan daw numberan mo yung iyong alkanes, yung iyong carbon chain, yung iyong parent chain in which your double bonds must have the lowest number. Okay? So parang yung ginagawa lang natin sa alkanes, no? Sa alkanes nagbibigay tayo ng lowest number sa mga substituents. Dito sa alkenes and later on sa alkynes, ganun din. Kailangan ang iyong double bonds or yung triple bonds mo, siya dapat ay may smallest number. Okay? So, mas ipaprioritize mo siya over your substituents. Then, locate your C double bond C by the number of its first carbon. Then, use the ending in to know or to indicate the presence of C double bond C. No? Kasi kapag in, yan ay puro single bond. Kapag in, yan ay may C double bond C. Okay? Then, if you have branch chain alkenes, you name them in accordance to how we named our alkanes. No? So let's have some examples. No? For example, here we have 1-hexene. Teka lang. So this is our 1-hexene. Paano siya naging 1-hexene? So this is your carbon chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ito yung double bond mo. Okay, so remember your parent chain, your long chain must include the double bond. So we can number it as right to left. Pwede rin namang left to right, no? However, we should give our carbon the lowest priority. I mean the lowest number, the lowest locant. If we begin from left to right, your double bond will start at carbon 5. Okay? So, yan yung magiging lowest number niya. However, if we count the number of carbons from right to left, ang magiging start ay yung nasa 1. So, sino yung pipiliin mo? Yung 5 or yung 1? Obviously, yung pinakamababang number, which is yung 1. So, we name this as 1-hexene. That means, hex yan, 6 na carbon, in kasi may double bond, 1 kasi nasa first carbon ang start ng double bond. Okay? So, ganun yung pag-name ha. Identify the long chain including the double bond. Then, you count left to right, right to left, and check kung saan mag-i-start ang double bond. For example, pag left to right, mag-start ang double bond sa 5. Okay? So, pag right to left, mag-start ang double bond sa 1 mismo. So, that means it is better if we name this as 1-hexene rather than 5-hexene. Okay? Always the lowest number for your alkene or for your double bond. Let's have this for example. Okay? So, ang pangalan daw niya ay 4-methyl-1-hexene. Okay? However, let's rationalize on that. Let's explain bakit ganyan yung numbering niya, no? So, 'di ba usually ang ating substituent yun yung binibigyan natin ng lowest number, no? However, since ang priority natin this time ay alkenes, siya yung dapat bigyan mo ng lowest number. Okay? So, Ito yung ating counting right to left. Gawin ko yung left to right. Okay, so yan yun. So if we count from left to right, your double bond will start at 5. Okay, if you count from right to left, your double bond will start at 1. So sino yung mas lowest? E di yung right to left, no? Yung 1. So despite na ang ating substituent dyan ay pag yung right to left yung susundan, despite na 4 yung kanyang number, it's fine, no? Kasi ang priority natin ay yung double bond, no? You prioritize the double bonds, not the substituent. Okay? So, ganun ang batas for your alkenes, no? So, yan. So, that's why we name it 4-methyl-1-hexene. On your fourth carbon, you have a methyl group. On the first carbon, you have your double bond. So 4-methyl-1-hexene. Let's have this one. Okay, so let's have this one. Okay, so ito yung ating longest chain. Ayan ba yung longest chain? Actually, hindi, no? Pero, yun yung longest chain containing the double bond, no? Bakit? Ano pa yung isang longest chain dito? Ito, oh. Fill ko lang, ha? Bilangin ko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, ito, 6 carbons yan. Pero hindi yan yung parent chain natin. Bakit? Kasi walang double bond dyan. Kailangan kasama yung double bond, no? So, you have no choice. No? Hindi yan yung ating longest chain. So, ano yung magiging longest chain containing the double bond? Is this one? No. 4 na carbon yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pala. Okay. So, 5 yan. Actually, that's the same as this one lang pala. No? Same lang pala sila. Para silang 5. Pero ito, hindi yan yung magiging long chain mo. 3 carbon lang yan eh. Compared to this one and this one. No? So, same lang. Okay. So, this will be our longest chain containing the C double bond C. Okay? So, basta kapag may nakita kang double bond, hanapin mo yung longest chain that contains the C double bond C. Okay? Then you start counting left to right, right to left. No? Okay, so if you count left to right, your double bond will start at 4. If right to left, your double bond will start at 1. So which is the lowest number? Edi yung 1. So we will choose the red over the blue. Okay, so ito yung ating magiging numbering. Okay, so this is your 1. Diyan mag-start ang iyong double bonds. Okay. So diyan mag-start yung double bond mo. So better yan. So ito yung pinili natin, yung right to left na. On the second carbon, you have your ethyl. On the third carbon, you have your ethyl again. Okay, then you have 5 carbons. So the name is 2,3-diethyl-1-pentene. Sa 2 and 3, may ethyl. Ito yon, pati ayon. And sa first carbon, andun yung double bond. So 2,3-diethyl-1-pentene. Okay? So kapag alkynes naman, ganun din naman, same rules, no? However, ang suffix na gagamitin, instead of in ay "-ine". "-ine", meaning alkyne, no? So kapag in, double bond. Pag "-ine", triple bond. Okay? So ganun pa rin yung rules, ha? So you give your alkynes, your triple bond, the lowest priority. Okay? So ganun, ha? Okay, so magpa-practice tayo. By the way, bago tayo tumuloy sa practice, okay? So these are the common names of our alkynes and alkenes, no? Of low molecular weight. Okay? So ito yung ethene or ethylene. Okay? So saan ito ginagamit? Sa mga paggawa ng plastics, no? Ito yung propylene. Mga ginagamit sa blowtorch, isobutylene, ganun din. Acetylene, ito yung ginagamit sa torches pa rin. Okay, propine and butane, 2-butane. Okay, so these are the common names, no? Pag naging familiar kayo dyan, that means meron yan double bonds or triple bonds. Yan ay alkenes and alkynes. Okay, so saan dapat tayo familiar? Sa acetylene, ginagamit ito sa torch, welding. Okay, ethylene, ginagamit ito sa paggawa ng plastics, propylene. Ginagamit din yan sa paggawa ng plastics, no? And sa fuel pa rin ng torches. Okay? So, ngayon, let's have some practice on naming our alkenes and alkynes, no? Practice tayo. Determine the names of the following compounds. Okay, so sige. So, we have CH2, double bond, CH. Okay? So, paano dinodrawing yon? Drawing natin ha, para mas maganda. So, ito yung CH2. Okay? Kapag may double bond doon, nakaganan yan. Okay? So, CH2 yan. Kasi ito CH, then you have apat na CH2. CH2, 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 and finally CH3. Okay? So, kapag confused, mag-Lewis structure. Gawin natin yung Lewis structure para makita nyo. Okay? So, CH2. Drawing ko yan. CH2. As may double bond daw. Tapos CH, then your CH2 na apat. Then your CH3. Huwag nyo kakalimutan mag-draw ng Lewis structure, ha? Madali lang naman yung paggawa ng Lewis structure sa OrgChem. Pero pag sanay na kayo, kahit di nyo nagawin na. Okay, so ito yung CH2. Ayan. Ito yung double bond. Ayun. Ito yung CH. Ayun. Ito yung apat na CH2. Ay, kulang ng isang H. Ito yun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then finally, your CH3 at the end. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay, so if you convert this into a line angle formula, ito yon, zigzag, CH2, CH, CH2, CH2, CH2. Then, ay, apat pala, no? 1, 2, 3, 4. Kulang na. Ayan, isa pa. Okay, so CH2, CH, CH2, 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 then CH3. Okay, so pangalanan natin yan. Okay, so burahin ko na tong Lewis structure. Okay, pag nahihirapan kayo gumawa ng line angle formula, ay Lewis structure niya. Okay, so this is our line angle formula. Let's place our locants. No? Lagyan natin ng number. Left to right, right to left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so pag right to left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our double bond, pag yan ay left to right, mag-start yan at 1. Pag left to right, no? Mag-start siya sa carbon 1. Pag yan ay right to left, mag-start yan sa 6. Okay, dito siya mag-start, no? 6 then 7. Okay, so ano pipiliin natin? Is that the 1 or the 6? Of course, obviously, yung 1 ang gagamitin. Okay? So, 1 po yung gagamitin natin instead of the 6. No? So, we don't need the green na, no? So, ano magiging name niya? So, yan ay 7 carbons. Tawag yan ay hep. Tapos, yan ay may double bond, may in, heptene. Tapos, nasan yung double bond? Nasa first carbon mag-start na. So, ang pangalan niya ay 1-heptene. Okay? So, ganun lang. Okay, so paano uli mag-name? I-draw nyo muna yung Lewis structure. Then, pagka-draw nyo ng, kahit di na pala kayo mag-Lewis structure, basta i-draw nyo na yung line angle formula. Then after that, maglagay kayo ng locants, left to right, right to left, no? Always give the lowest number for your alkenes, no? Okay, so ganun lang. Then still the same process as alkanes. No? So sana master nyo na yung alkanes. Let's have letter H. Hanapin ang longest chain with the double bond. Okay? So ito yung longest chain with the double bond. Okay? So yan ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So yan yung ating parent. May substituents tayo. Ano? So ano yung parent natin? Nakalimutan ko ilang carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbons. Yan ay hex. In. Kasi may double bond. Tapos nasan yung double bond? Nasa, maglalagay tayong number. Is either left to right, right to left. Okay? So yan, left to right, right to left. Kapag tayo ay left to right, ang kanya number ay magiging 5. Yan yung lowest number for your hexane. Pag left to right, pag right to left, mag-start ang double bond sa 1. Which is better. E di yung 1. Okay? So yung green ang susundin. So 1 hexane, ang kanyang name. Substituents. Ano yung substituents natin? May dalawa tayong methyl. So yan ay dimethyl. Ito methyl, tapos ito ba isa pang methyl. So dimethyl. Then ano yung locant nila? So since green yung pinili natin, susundan natin yung green syempre. So yan ay 2, 5 dimethyl. Okay? So ano yung magiging complete name niya? So its complete name will be 2, 5 dimethyl dash 1 hexene. Okay? So ganun lang. 2, 5 dimethyl 1 hexene. So let's have some more example. Wala nang example ng drawing. Ito. Itong letter K. Sige, itong letter K. Pati itong J na rin gawin natin. J muna. Yan ay CH3, CH2, C, CH3. Ayan, so ilang carbon to? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have your double bond here. So this is CH3, CH2, C, CH2, and CH3 there. Okay? So ngayon, ano yung longest chain? Baka isipin nyo, ay ito sir yung longest chain. Mali yon. Bakit yung mali? Kasi walang double bond. Kailangan kasama po yung double bonds. Okay? So gawin natin, sama natin yung double bond. Ito yung magagawa nating longest chain. Then, maglalagay tayo ng locants, no? Ano yung pinagkaiba niya sa alkanes? Sa alkanes, yung locant, sa dulo na tayo nag-a-assign, di ba? Dito sa alkenes and alkynes, yun yung isusunod natin after identifying the parent. Okay? So, mag-assign ka kaagad ng locant. Okay? So, yan. Kasi sa alkanes, nag-a-assign tayo ng locant, di ba, after natin malaman yung substituents. No? After makita mo yung substituent, doon ka lang maglalagay ng numbers. Dito, after mo malaman yung parent, doon ka maglalagay ng numbers. Then, yung iyong substituent, aalamin mo. Okay? So, ganun yung kabaliktaran lang dito sa alkenes and alkynes. So, ito yung ating longest chain, 4 carbons. So, ang pangalan yan ay butene. Butene and the Beast. Alam nyo na yung meme, no? So, ganun. Butene. So, may double bond in but kasi apat na carbons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Butene. Ngayon, maglagay tayo ng numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ano susundin? Yung lowest number. If we follow the red one, our double bond will start at 3. If we use the green one, our double bond will start at 1. Which is better? Edi yung green. So, ang parent natin would be 1 butene. How about our substituent? So our substituent will be, okay, so green yung susundan natin, edi green yung substituent number then. So that will be 2-methyl. No? So 2-methyl. On the second carbon, you have your methyl group there. So yung complete name niya, substituent, then the parent. So that will be 2-methyl 1-butene. Okay? 2-methyl 1-butene. On the second carbon, you have your methyl. On the first carbon, you have your butene. Okay? Then, gawin natin tong letter K. Ano yung napapansin nyo dito? Kapag alam nyo na yung alkanes, madali na lang talaga to. Okay? So, ganun talaga. So, gawin ko yung K ha. Drawing natin yan. So, ano meron dito? CH3, CH2, CH2, C. CH2, CH2, CH3. Parang tuloy-tuloy yan, no? Ito na sa taas. Ito yung double bonds. Ito na sa baba. Okay. Ito ilang carbon to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ito. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Dito yung double bond. Okay. And CH3, CH2, CH3. Okay. So, ito yung kanyang name, no? I mean, ito yung kanyang structure. Ito yung CH2, ito yung CH3, CH2, CH2. Ito yun, CH3, CH2, CH2. Ito yung C containing the double bond. Then CH2. Okay. Nasa dulo yan. Then, ito yung CH2, CH2, CH3. CH2, CH2, CH3. So, ganyan yung kanyang drawing. Ngayon, ano yung longest chain? Baka isipin nyo, sir, ito po yung longest chain. Yan yung longest chain kapag alkane. Pero may alkene tayo, may double bond tayo. So, kailangan natin siya pansinin. So, siya yung ipaprioritize natin. Okay? Ay, nabura ko. So, hindi yun yung longest chain natin na hindi itong zigzag na yan. Kasi kailangan natin isama yung double bond. So, left or right, it doesn't matter. Parehas lang yan ang carbon count. No? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pag right. Pag left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same lang. Okay? So, ano yung ating parent? Ilang carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbons. So, yan ay pentene. Pentene. And shampoo. Okay? So, yan yung ating parent. Okay, yung ating substituent. Ano yung ating substituent? Ilang carbon? 1, 2, 3. Ano yung 3 carbons? Propyl. Propyl. Okay? Prop, tatlong carbon. Il kasi, substituent. Propyl. Okay? This is your pentene. This is your propyl. Ngayon, mag-a-assign tayo ng number. Ang numbering natin ay ito. Hindi ko napapakita yung isa pa. Sige, pakita ko na. Okay. So, red or green? Red ang gagamitin. Bakit? Kasi if we follow the red, ang ating double bond will start at 1. Pag green yung gagamitin, our double bond will start at carbon number 4. We don't want big number for your alkene. Always the lowest number, huh? So, our parent chain will be named as 1-pentene. Then our substituent will have a low count 2. Okay? So, kanyang full name ay 2-propyl 1-pentene. Okay? So, ganun lang. Same lang sa alkane. Yung substituent muna, then yung parent. What if you have multiple substituents? Alphabetical yun, ha? Alphabetical yung arrangement. Okay? So, practice pa. Marami pa tayong ginagawa dito. Practice. By the way, no? Kung hindi nyo alam kung saan galing itong kinukuha kong practice, punta lang kayo sa Canvas, no? Share ko lang. punta kayo ng canvas, then go here. Okay, kunwari, ito na lang. Go to your canvas, punta sa discussions, andito yung ating worksheets. No? So, yan. Chapter 6, worksheet A. Chapter 6, worksheet B. Ito yung sinasagutan ko, yung worksheet B. Then, naglagay din ako ng chemical nomenclature of organic compounds, part 1 and part 2. This is the summary. No? This is from UP Diliman. So, please have a copy. So, andyan na yung mga naming rules. Okay? So, basahin nyo na lang. Tinuturo din naman natin. So, mas advanced nga lang yun, ha? Okay? Okay, so, let's try to draw this naman. Gawin natin itong second part. Burahin ko na to, ha? Para hindi sayang sa space. Let's draw the following compound. Trans-2-methyl-3-hexene. Ala, may trans. So, ano meaning ng trans? Your priority groups are on the opposite side of the double bond, no? Okay, so wala na sa opposite side sila. Pero ganito, huwag nyo muna pansinin yung cis and trans. Set aside nyo muna, okay? Huwag nyo muna pansinin yan. Burahin muna natin. Draw muna natin to. Tapos saka natin siyang gawing trans isomer. Let's try to draw 2-methyl-3-hexene. Ano yung parent? Ang parent ay 3-hexene. So, gawa tayo ng hexene. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ayusin ko yung drawing. 1, 2, 3. Ayan, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, nasan yung Asan yung yung double bond? Nasa third carbon. Start ako sa left. Okay lang kahit saan. Pero gusto ko sa left. 1, 2, 3. So, dito mag-start ang double bond. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then, ngayon, asan yung 2-methyl? So, kung dito ka nag-start sa left, 1 to, 2 to, ito 3. O, dito yung dito yung iyong methyl group. Okay? So, this is 2-methyl-3-hexene. 2-methyl-3-hexene. Ito yung double bond sa hexane. Okay? So, ngayon, paano mo gagawin trans yan? Ito yung isip natin. Paano gagawing trans yan? Okay. So, yung ginagawa natin kanina, ito yung double bond. Gawa ka ng imaginary line. So, yun yung imaginary line. Ito yung taas. Ito yung up. Ito yung down. Okay? So, ano yung mga nakadugtong sa carbons na to? Diba, ito carbon na to, ilang bond na meron dyan? 3. 1, 2, 3. May 3 bond na siya. Isa pa pwede. O saan mapupunta yung isang bond na yon? Kay hydrogen. So, pakita natin pansamantala yung hydrogen. O, hydrogen yung isa nakabond dito. Tingin tayo sa carbon na to. Ilang bonds na meron? 1, 2, 3. Ilan pa kaya? Isa pa. So, ibig sabihin yung isang yon na kay hydrogen din yon. Okay? So, ngayon, tignan natin yung ating priority groups. No? Okay? So, tingin tayo dito sa left side ng line na to. Gagawa ulit tayo ng imaginary line. Gawa ulit tayo ng boundary. Okay. So, ito yung left side. Ano yung priority mo dito? Itong H na to or itong pa-letter V na yan? Itong pa-letter V na to, no? Kasi mas madaming atoms to kaysa sa H. Mas mabigat to kaysa sa H. So this will be our priority. Priority. Pupunta tayo dito sa right side ng black line. So asan dito yung priority? Itong H sa taas or itong sa H2 sa H3 sa baba? Yung sa H2 sa H3 sa baba. No? So this will be our priority. So sino yung ano yung location ng ating priorities? Are they on the opposite side or the same side? they are both on the opposite side of the double bond. So ito yung double bond, ito yung ating basis. Ito yung ating base. Yung isa nasa taas yung priority, yung isa nasa baba yung priority. So this is already a trans 2-methyl 3-hexene. Okay? So siya yung trans 2-methyl 3-hexene. Ano po itsura niyan kapag cis yan? Okay? So ano kaya itsura niyan kapag cis yan? Sige. Brain ko lang to. Ay, nawala na lahat. Sige na nga. So, ganun na. Okay, so this is our trans 2-methyl 3-hexene. Ito yung hexene. Ito yung priority. Yung isa nasa taas, yung isa nasa baba. Ito yung point of view ng ating, ito yung baseline ng ating double bond. Yung isa nasa taas, yung isa nasa baba. Trans yan. So, paano yung cis? Paano po yung cis 2-methyl 3-hexene? Paano yan? Ang ganito lang. Gagawin mo lang, itong CH2, CH3 dito, instead na nasa baba yan, lilipat mo lang yan sa taas. Okay? So, yan. So, ito yung ating double bond. Kanina, nasa baba yung CH2, CH3. Ngayon, nasa taas na siya. So, parehas na sa taas ang ating priorities. So, yun ay cis. Okay? Pag trans, nasa opposite side ang priority. Kapag cis, on the same side. Pwedeng parehas na sa taas. Pwede rin parehas na sa baba. Okay? Kuha pa tayo ng mga names dito. Alkyne naman tayo. Same lang naman kasi ng rules, no? So, alkynes, practice. Let's try number 2. 2-methyl 3-hexene. Okay, so may hexene tayo, hexene. So, 6 na carbons, tapos may triple bond, no? So, paano natin i-draw yon sa line angle formula? Okay. Kapag zigzag, pag zigzag, pwede yan sa alkane and alkene. Kasi yung double bond, pwede i-ganon mo lang. Pero kapag triple bond yan, anong alam natin sa triple bond? The angles are 180 at each end of the carbon. Okay? So, 180 dapat dito, 180 din doon. So, anong gagawin natin dyan? So, gagawin natin dyan is straighten lang natin to. I-convert natin yan into a straight line, no? Zigzag yung sp3 hybridized, yung sp2 hybridized, naka-zigzag yon. Pero yung sp hybridized carbon, yung mga naka-triple bond, straight line yan. So, paano gagawin yan? Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so ito yung itsura ng 2-methyl 3-hexene. I mean, 3-hexene pa lang yan. Ito yung 2-methyl 3-hexene. Okay? So, bakit po naging ganyan yung drawing niya? Ba't di pa din nasa taas? Bakit bawal yung nasa taas? Kasi, sabi natin, kapag triple bond, kailangan 180 degrees ang separation ng nasa taas at ng nasa baba. No? Yung groups ng atoms na nakakabit sa triple bond. Kailangan 180 degrees. So, hindi pwede yung ganyan. Kasi 120 degree to. Yan o, 120 degree. Kailangan 180 degree. So, gagawin mo siyang straight line. So, ito yung first carbon, second carbon. Ito yung methyl group sa second carbon. Third carbon, ayun. Fourth carbon, ayun. Fifth, then sixth, no? Okay, so again, kapag may triple bond, straight line. Pero, ako ginaganyan ko talaga yan. Para makita ko, uy, may carbon dito, uy, may carbon doon. Okay? So, ganun. So, basta may carbon at the end of this one and that one. Huwag mako-confuse. Okay? So, naka-straight line yan, pero hindi yan straight line. Kunwari, isa pang example para masanay kayo. Ilang carbons meron dyan? Ito. 4 na carbon yan. Bakit naging 4? Okay. Isa sa dulo. Tapos, sa dulo ng triple bond, sa kada dulo ng triple bond, may carbon doon. May carbon dyan, may carbon din dyan. So, 4 na carbon yan. Okay? So, yan. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. So, para lang siyang straight line, no? Pero hindi. Maraming carbons doon. Kasi isipin nyo, ano yan? 2 carbon lang yan. No. 4 yan. Isa dito, isa dito, isa doon, isa doon. Okay? So, ganun lang ha. Ulit-ulitin nyo na lang yung video para mas ma-pick up. No? Okay? So, this is our 2-methyl 3-hexyne. Okay? Ito yung 2-methyl. Ito yung 3-hexyne. No? Ito yung yne. Ito yung triple bond. Hex kasi 6 na carbons ng ating parent chain. Practice pa. Try natin yung letter C. 3-ethyl, 2-ethyl, 3-ethyl, 3-methyl, 1-pentyne. Let's do that. Pentyne, 5 carbon. 1, 2, 5 na ba? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5. Nasaan yung triple bond? Yne. Nasa first carbon. Ano yung problema dyan? Ang problema ay may bend. Kailangan linear yan. So, convert natin yan as straight line. Okay? So, ganun. Hindi pwedeng may bend sa triple bond. Okay lang yan sa double bond. Okay lang yan sa single bond. Pero, wag sa triple bond. 180 degrees yon, sabi natin. Okay? So, this is your alkyne. This is CH2, CH, CH, C, CH2, CH2, CH3. Okay? So, this is your 1-pentyne. First carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon. Sa first carbon ang triple bond. Okay? Then, ano gagawin dito? Sa third carbon, may ethyl and methyl ka. 1, 2, 3. So, this is your third carbon. So, may methyl and may ethyl ka. 1, 2. So, this is your methyl and this is your ethyl. Okay? Methyl, ethyl. On the third carbon, 3 ethyl, 3 methyl yan. Ito yung methyl, ito yung ethyl. Then, nasa first carbon yung iyong alkyne, yung triple bond ba? Okay. Then, 5 carbon yung iyong parent chain. So, 1-pentyne yan. Okay? So, ganun yung gagawin ha. Practice pa. Marami pang pwede sagutan. Last na to. Letter D. 2,3-dimethyl 2-pentene. 2,3-dimethyl 2-pentene. Double bond to. So, okay lang yung zigzag. Pag yne, walang zigzags. Hindi. Not necessarily walang zigzag. Pero hindi ka pwede mag-zigzag sa triple bond, ha? X yan. Kailangan straight line lang yan. Tapos, doon ka na lang uli mag-zigzag sa hindi triple bonds, no? For example, ito, hindi yan triple bond. Ito, hindi triple bond. Ito, hindi triple bond. So, hindi yan straight line. Naka-zigzag yan. Pero kapag may triple bond ka, wag ka mag-zigzag, magagalit ng electrons. Magre-repel sila. Okay, so try natin letter D and letter E. Okay, so D and E, gawin natin. 2,3-dimethyl 2-pentene. Pentene. Okay, so alkene yan. Pwede yung zigzag lang. On the second carbon, you have your double bond. Yan. This is your second carbon. Ito yung double bond. Then on the second and the third carbon, you have your methyl groups. Okay? So 2 and 3 dimethyl, 2 pentine, pentene. Okay? So 2, 3 dimethyl, 3 pentene. Okay? So ganyan yung itsura niya. Gawin ko na rin yung E. Okay, so sa letter E, that's 3-chloropropene. Okay? So paano yan? Ganito lang yan, ha? So usually, ganito lang yan. Ang 3, that tells you na yung iyong chloro ay nasa carbon 3. Okay? So ganun. Yung meaning naman ng propene, ibig sabihin nun, may double bond ka sa first carbon. Hindi na binigay yung 1 propene na. So ganun lang. Okay? So ganun lang, propene. Okay, so yung 3, that doesn't tell you na yung in ay nasa third carbon. No. Meaning nang nun, yung chloro, yung chlorine, nasa third carbon. So, paano natin i-draw yan? O, draw the propene first. No? Propene. Okay. So, always nasa first carbon kapag ganun. Pag hindi sinabi kung anong number yung iyong in, pati yung ine. Pag hindi sinabi, nasa first yan. So, ito yung first. 1, 2, 3. Then, nandito ang chlorine. Okay? So, that is 3-chloropropene. Again, ulitin ko. Pag walang sinabi dyan kung nasan yung in, pati yung ine, nasa first carbon yon. Automatic yon. Kapag hindi sinabi, nasa first. Kunwari dito, 2-pentene. No? May sabihin no, nasa second carbon. O 1-pentine, nasa first carbon yung triple bond. 3-hexyne, meaning nun, nasa third carbon yung triple bond. Okay? So, ganun. Pero kapag walang sinabi, ganito lang, 3-chloropropene, ibig sabihin nun, nasa first carbon ang double bonds. Okay? So, that's the nomenclature of our alkenes and alkynes. So, just use the same principle as your alkanes. No? And may munting modification lang na kailangan mo i-prioritize yung double bonds muna. No? Okay. So, now, let's proceed with the cycloalkenes. No? So let's proceed with the cycloalkenes. In naming our cycloalkenes, that's the same as cycloalkanes. Okay? However, ang numbering natin dito, kailangan ang double bond ay may lowest number. Okay? So, ganun pa rin. Just count the number of atoms in a ring. Then that will give you the name of your cyclopentene. Cycloalkene. No? So for example, itong isa, ilang carbons meron sa ring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5. So, ibig sabihin nun, yan ay pentene. Ngayon, may substituent ka. Paano mo na numberan yan? Pag nagna-number tayo, kailangan yung 1 and 2, magkasunod yung may double bond. No? Okay? So, for example, itong 1, 2 na dito, ito ay nasa gitna. Yung nasa gitna nila ay yung double bond na. Hindi pwede mo gawin na ganito ha. Hindi pwede yan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bawal yan. Kailangan sa number 1 and 2, andun ang double bond. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 na. So 1, 2, 3, nasa third carbon ng ating methyl. So ang kanyang pangalan ay 3-methylcyclopentene. Ano yung isang version yan? Dito ka mag-start, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, ang kanyang magiging name ay 5-methylcyclopentene, pero incorrect yon. Bakit? Kasi always remember na ang lowest substituent number ang ibibigay for the rings. Okay? So, let's look at this one ulit. Kunwari, ito. You have a methyl and an ethyl group. Okay? So, wag mo muna sila pansinin. Ang kailangan mo bigyan ng lowest priority ay yung, yung lowest number ay yung double bond mo. Okay, so ayan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try natin yung isa pang way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, yan yung pag-number natin. Basta remember, between 1 and 2, andun dapat yung double bond. No? Okay? So, pag yung red yung gagamitin natin, ang substituent mo na methyl ay nasa 1. Pag red yung gagamitin, ang methyl ay nasa 1, ang ethyl ay nasa 5. I mean red pala, no? 4. Pag blue yung gagamitin, itong blue na numbering natin sa loob, ang methyl mo ay 2 at ang ethyl mo ay 5. So, ano yung mas better? Siyempre, ang better ay yung red, no? So, ito yung pipiliin natin na numbering. So, ang kanyang pangalan ay 4-ethyl 1-methyl cyclohexene. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo, kapag cyclo compounds na, yung double bond, di na sinasabi kung ano yung number niya. Kasi you can place it anywhere. Okay? At saka ang magiging number niya ay automatically 1. So, it doesn't matter kung saan mo siya ilagay. Okay? And these are some of the cycloalkenes. The other version of alkenes, sometimes we can have alternating double bonds. Okay, so for example, we have a 5-carbon group and in which your double bonds are alternating. We call it isoprene. Okay, so pag ganito yung pattern niya, may 5 carbons dyan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapos yung double bonds ay alternating. Yan ay isoprene. This is common in natural products, no, such as extracts of the leaves, no. May mga isoprene compounds doon sa mga extracts ng halaman. Okay? So, yan. Ano pa? So, ito isa pang common compound to, 1,4-pentadiene. Okay? Diene meaning dalawang double bond. Saan makikita yung dalawang double bond? Sa carbon 1 and sa carbon 4. Okay? So, ganun kapag maraming double bond. Gagamitin mo ng diene, triene. Okay? Kaya nga may meme na I'm triene. No? Medyo corny yun. Pero tatlong double bond daw siya. Sabi niya, eto may double bond. Sabi niya, I'm diene. Sabi ng isa, I'm triene. Ayan. Triene. Ibig sabihin niyan, tatlo yung kanyang double bonds. No? Tapos ito, dalawang double bond. Yung picture na nasa bangka, tapos kunwari nalulunod yung diene. Sabi niya, I'm diene. Tapos sabi ng isang molecule, I'm trying to catch you. Wala na, corny na. Basta ganun yung naming doon, ha? Ganun lang yung idea. If you have multiple double bonds, no, then you use diene, triene, tetraene, etc. Okay? And this is one common compound, 1,3-cyclopentadiene, no? Hindi nyo naman kailangan kabisaduhin yan. Although you want to take note pa rin. No? Okay? So, yan. So, practice muna tayo ng naming ng cycloalkenes natin before we proceed. Magna-name tayo muna. Ito. Redraw ko na lang, ha? Itong B. Sagutan natin yung B. Okay, so this is our cycloalkene. Sir, may cycloalkyne ba? Pwede rin naman, pwede. May mga cycloalkyne din, pero not common. Mostly cycloalkene lang. Okay, so let's try this one. Ano pangalan yan? Gemerlin, hindi. Okay, so kailangan, kapag magna-number tayo ng ring, ang 1 and 2, nasa gitna nila, yung double bond. Okay, so pwedeng ganito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Pwede rin naman ganito. Ay, Blue rin pala yan. Pwedeng ganyan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So, yun yung numbering natin. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counterclockwise. Just keep in mind between 1 and 2 anong dapat yung double bonds na. Kapag green yung pipiliin, ano yung magiging substituent numbers mo kapag green? Just kapag red. Ang substituent numbers mo kapag green ay 1, 4, 4. Kapag red naman, ang iyong substituent numbers ay 2, 4, 4. Which is better? Is it the 1, 4, 4 or the 2, 4, 4? Siyempre, yung 1, 4, 4 na. So, dito magkakatalo. So, we will choose green instead of red. Bakit? Kasi mas mababa yung isang substituent number for the green. No? So, we will not follow the red. Green yung susundin natin. Oopsie. Okay? So, yung ating green ang susundan. So, ano magiging pangalan niyan? Name your parent muna. Name yung ring. Parent. Ano name ng parent natin? 5 carbons. So, yan ay cyclo. Oops. Yan ay cyclo. Pentene. Cyclo, nakaring. Pentene, 5 carbons. May double bond. Cyclopentene. Okay? Tapos, ano na? Substituents. Okay, mga substituents natin. Tatlong methyl yan. So, tri-methyl. Okay? Tatlong methyl, trimethyl. Ano yung locants natin? 1, 4, 4. Okay? So, 1, 4, 4 trimethyl ang kanyang substituent name. Pagsamahin na natin lahat. No? So, that will be 1, 4, 4 trimethyl cyclopentene. Okay? So, yun yung kanyang pangalan. So, paano uli yung process? Bilangin yung carbons. Mag-number. Okay? Mag-numbering muna kayo. Then, finally, yung substituent, bigyan mo ng lowest number yung iyon substituents na. Okay? So, ganun lang. Practice pa tayo. Ito. Letter G. Mapansin mo, may triple bond. So, posible po yung cyclopentine. I mean, cycloalkyne. Pwede yan. Maraming carbons nga lang kailangan. Okay? Ano pangalan yan? Bilangin mo na lang kung ilang carbons yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 carbons yan. Then may triple bond. So, ang pangalan niya ay cyclodecyne. Cyclodecyne yan. Okay? Wala sir, paano yun? May angle yun. Dapat walang angle yan. Dapat walang angle yan. Mali yung drawing. Okay? Kailangan walang angle yan. Straight line dapat yan. Kasi remember, 180 degrees ang separation kapag sp hybridized or may triple bond. Okay? So, cyclodecyne ang kanyang pangalan kasi 10 carbons yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And yne kasi may triple bond. Cyclodecyne. Again, yung drawing, hindi dapat ganyan yan. Kasi 180 degrees. So, kailangan straight line tong side na to. Let's do this naman. Hindi. Napangalanan na yun. Ito. Itong letter I. Pangalanan natin siya. Let me redraw. Okay. So, numbering. Again, 1 and 2. Nasa gitna dapat ang double bond. Okay. So, tignan natin. Kapag green, pati kapag red. Ano yung substituent numbers kapag green? Substituent number ay 1, pati 3. Okay? Kapag green, kapag red, ano yung substituent numbers natin? 2 and 5. Clearly, hindi red yung gagamitin. Yung green ang gagamitin. Kasi lowest combination. So, pangalanan natin yung parent. We have 5 carbons, may double bond. Ano pangalan ng parent? Cyclopentene. Okay? Cyclo, nakaring, pent, 5 carbon, in, may double bond. Ngayon, yung substituent, ano yung pangalan? Dalawang methyl yan, so dimethyl. Ano yung locant nila? Ano yung number? 1, 3. So, ang kanyang complete name ay 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentene. Okay? So, 1, 3 dimethyl cyclopentene. So, ganun lang. Hanap pa tayo ng pwede pangalanan. Okay, wala na pala. Ito, drawing tayo. Drawing. Ito, letter F. 3-methyl cyclohexene. Itong letter F. No, cyclohexene. Meaning nun, may cyclo ka, may ring, hex, 6 na carbons, in, may double bond. Okay, so drawing ka ng hexagon. Tapos maglagay ka ng double bond everywhere you like. Ang gusto ko dyan, pangit ng hexagon ko. Okay, so ito yung aking cyclohexane. Ngayon, 3-methyl. Kahit saan. Kahit saan ka mag-number pwede. Pwedeng 1 and 2 pababa. 1 and 2 pataas. No? Gusto ko yung pababa. So this is 1, 2. Okay, always yung 1 and 2, nandun yung double bond. 1, 2. Ito yung third carbon. Doon ko ilalagay ang methyl. So this is my 3-methyl cyclohexane. Cyclohexane, 1, 2, 3. Andito yung methyl. So 3-methyl cyclohexane. Ganyan lang yung drawing niya. Ito letter G. 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexene. Cyclohexene pa rin, ganun pa rin. Diyan yung double bond, gusto ko nandyan. 1, 2 dimethyl. So, nandito sa 1, nandito sa 2, andun yung dalawang methyl. So, yan yung drawing niya. Okay? Ayan. So, 1, 2 dimethyl cyclohexene. Okay, so ganun lang yung pag-draw. Ganun din yung pag-name. Same lang siya as alkanes, no? So, same lang sila. Ang pinagkaiba lang talaga nila ay yung, ang pinagkaiba nila ay ang paglagay ng numbers, no? So, kailangan i-prioritize mo yung double bond before everything else, okay? So, ganun lang. Yun lang yung difference niya with alkanes. Pag alkenes and alkynes, unahan mong bigyan ng number ang alkenes, pati alkynes. Yung mga double bonds, pati yung triple bonds. Okay? So, ganun lang yun sa naming part natin. Okay? To sum up this lesson, okay? Yung reactions, tutuloy na lang natin. No? So, to sum up, punta tayo sa physical properties of our alkenes and alkynes. So, similarly with alkanes, no? Parehas na siya with alkanes, no? Anong meron? Na sila ay non-polar compounds, no? Kasi carbon and hydrogen atoms pa rin naman yung nandyan. So, ibig sabihin nun, non-polar yung bonds. So, ano yung pwede nilang gawing attractive forces? Di London dispersion forces lamang. Okay? So, since London dispersion forces lang din yung basis nila, so it must follow the same trend as that of the alkanes, no? Okay? So, the more carbon in the skeleton, the higher the boiling point, the higher the melting point, no? And the more branching, ibig sabihin, mas bumababa yung surface area. So, bumababa yung boiling point and melting point. And finally, Ang ating alkenes and alkynes, they are less dense than water pa rin. Okay, so they can float in water and they are insoluble in water. Kasi nga non-polar yan. Okay, so it's the same as alkanes lang din. Okay, so ganun lang. So this is the first part of the topic for alkene and alkyne. No? Okay, so later on, we will start with the reactions naman of our alkenes. Okay, so I'll continue this na lang, no? So watch out for the next video.